Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. This is Philly and today we have a special episode with you. We've never done this before, but today we have one of our past clients coming on to the podcast for a second time. So the wonderful, unstoppable Jason is back. Jason shared his healing story back in September 2023 on the podcast. And that was right at the end of his journey through our Ending Body Burnout Method program. So he, in the past, came to us because he developed an autoimmune condition that was causing a lot of back inflammation, and he had some other stuff going on with food allergies, skin issues. And in that first episode, he shares his healing journey and how he healed. So he has come back on the podcast today, 18 months post graduating from the Ending Body Burnout Method, and it was a delightful conversation. I just love catching up with Jason. He is such a beautiful, energetic, aligned soul. And we dig into life after the Ending Body Burnout Method. So to show that when you deeply embody the practices and the teachings that we take our clients through in the method, when that's embodied and integrated, then things do just get better and better. Symptoms, old health issues, burnout doesn't come back. You literally continue living in alignment with self and communicating and connecting with self. And so, Jason talks with Chris and I about his journey and how he continues to practice all the things he learned inside the Ending Body Burnout Method and how he is thriving. Jase also lives a very intentional and exciting life. So I really wanted to dig into that side of things with him today as well. He is a dreamer. So him and his wife, Sarah, whenever they want to do something, whether it's moving from interstate to live off grid or traveling the world for a year, they make it happen. So we dig into the psyche behind dreaming, how to move forward into the things that you want to have in your life, how to manifest those, and how to care for yourself so that you become resilient and strong even when challenges come up. So I think you'll find so many beautiful gems inside this episode. Also, just a little reminder before we jump into the episode that if you do love this conversation that we have and you're interested in holistically healing in the way that Jason did, our Ending Body Burnout Method program opens up very soon in May. So if you're keen to check that out, go to the show notes. Make sure you pop your name on the wait list because you will get first dibs in securing a spot. We only have limited spaces as our program includes one-on-one consults and coaching. It's not just a course or a group coaching experience. You get a lot of one-on-one personalized support as well. Also being on the wait list means that you get access to exclusive early bird bonuses that are worth over $500. So definitely pop your name on the wait list if you are keen. And also if you're curious to learn more about how to end your own body burnout, how to rewire your brain and rewire your whole self and holistically heal, in May during launch week, so when our doors are open to our method, we will be running some free coaching events. And our main one that we're running that we did back in September last year that was extremely popular, and we had so much wonderful feedback around it, is Rewire Your Brain to Heal Body Burnout. So that's a 3-day or 3-part series free coaching that we would love you to come along to if you would like to experience what it's like to be in our healing container. And we also have a free webinar as well called 5 Breakthroughs to Overcome Your Healing Blocks. So I'll pop those in the show notes as well. And yeah, I'd love to have you join us for the free coaching week to rewire your brain and your whole self to end body burnout. Okay, let's dive into today's episode.
All right, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. Today we have another gracing of our previous, let's start that one again.
Another gracing.
Another gracing.
I'm glad you can cut stuff. It's great. Chris.
I did one too many things at the same time.
Okay.
It took me over the edge. Okay. And cut. Welcome everybody to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are excited to bring this episode with you. We have to you. Fetching heck.
Keep rolling. Oh, God.
Oh, this is great.
That's amazing. That will be the last take, I betcha. Philly will mess up the next 6 takes. Ready?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, well, then I'll have another 7
It's
after
organic.
that.
It's a conversation.
Yeah. It's good.
Oh, so good. All right, ready? G'day, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. Today, we have our past client, Jason, on the call today on the podcast, and we are excited to catch up again. You might remember Jason from back in episode...
Oh, I should have got the episode. It would have been maybe about 18 months ago, because it was about 18 months ago that you finished up Ending Body Burnout Method with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would have been in second half of 2023.
Yeah. We'll make sure we pop in
while
the
ago
show
now.
notes your original conversation.
I've still got it somewhere. I could have looked it up myself, so I'll find it.
Oh, good.
That is all good.
Well, thank you so much, Jase, for jumping on and coming and having a chat to us again. Where in the world are you at the moment?
At the moment, we're in Sri Lanka, in Colombo.
Nice. How is it over there? In Tasmania, it's stormy today. It's really stormy. There was Cyclone
Yes, it's
Alfie.
understandable. Yeah. Well, we haven't been back in Tasmania since... I lie. We came back for a couple of days earlier this year. But we've pretty much been traveling full-time since 2023, the end of 2023.
Cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
So
I
it's
love
sunny
that.
here, it's warm. It's probably 25 at the moment, so probably be a top of about 35. So it's quite warm. Completely different to Tasmania, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a little bit chilly here today, actually.
Autumn.
And I don't know if you just heard, but a massive thundery thing just happened.
A thundery
A
thing.
thundery thing. I was going to say a thunderous storm, but it's like, what's the thunder clapping?
Thunder.
All is good so far with the internet. Okay, so we will definitely circle around to the travels a little bit later, because I think there's so many, I'm sure there's going to be so many amazing stories that you can share, but also a lot of the times when people get stuck in body burnout, it's because they're living their life out of alignment. They're kind of doing the things that they feel like they should be doing, or based on other people's judgments or their own external expectations or internal expectations. So I think it'd be really nice to dig into how you like the psychology behind how you have created the life that you've created. But before we dive into that, for those who might be new to the podcast who haven't listened to your original episode, can you just do a little bit of a recap in terms of what you were experiencing when you reached out to us, your journey through the Ending Body Burnout Method? Yeah, just kind of a bit of a recap around that.
Okay, well, that particular journey probably would have started probably 5 or 6 years ago when I developed chronic back pain, which kind of led me to waking up every night between 2 and 3 a.m. with just immense pain in my back, which obviously I needed to get to the root of. After trying all different sorts of things from, acupuncture to osteo and massage, everything, eventually got diagnosed with a strange word. It's called ankylosing spondylitis, which I had never heard of at the time, which is pretty much chronic inflammation. And there was no cure for this. So when the doctor diagnosed me with this, he sent me to the hospital, and then they proceeded to explain the side effects of the treatment, which was an injection each month just to manage the pain. And the side effects were everything from turning yellow to problems seeing and all sorts of strange stuff like this. So I thought, well, this isn't for me. There must be some way to fix it. This is just pain management. So after digging a bit deeper, I discovered functional medicine, and I looked up in my area, and up popped Chris and Billy, and that began my journey on functional medicine and the body burnout course, really.
Yeah.
That's where it all started. So originally I thought it would just be talking to you and doing some tests and finding out what physically was wrong with my body, but it turned out to be a lot more than that you learn about, which was great.
Deep into the metaphysical as well, how
Yeah,
you're
pretty much.
being,
Yes.
patterns you're
Yes.
running, beliefs that you have about
Yes.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of where you were when you first reached out to us, how were you feeling by the time you graduated from the Ending Body Burnout Method?
A lot more. Well, the main thing I was feeling is pain-free. So we removed all the pain. I no longer had the ankylosing spondylitis. So I was cured of that.
Yeah.
I was feeling a lot more confident to tackle any other hurdles that would come up in life. During the course, you learn a lot of skills, not just for health, it's just life skills, really, that help you along the way.
Yeah.
So you come out of there feeling a lot more better about yourself.
Yeah.
You have a lot more balance, and things just flow a little bit better.
So in the last 18 months, like it's been 18 months. I had to actually look in the calendar. I'm like, yeah, it's been 18 months since we last spoke. How has your health journey, your well-being journey evolved over the course of that 18 months?
It keeps growing and evolving every day. There's challenges and things to overcome. But it's just got better and better, really. There's been no issues with my health. If there is something small come up, I approach it differently. So if I eat something or I don't feel well, it's just a mindset now that I have that I can easily deal with it, and it's not an issue.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's important too, which is also why I was excited to have this conversation, because sometimes people go through a healing journey, even if it's with us or someone else or a course or something. And it's like in the bubble of the transformational space, you feel great, but then sometimes people might leave, but they haven't fully embodied or integrated the practices or changed like yourself at a soul level, and then those symptoms come back. So it's awesome to hear that, over the last 18 months, things have just gotten better and better. And you said, so if little things do pop up, we call them signals. It's like, hey, hey,
Signal, yes,
just need to get your
that's right.
tension for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are you still using, when you say different mindset, are you still using specific practices or tools or coaching frameworks that you learned inside the method to help overcome those things?
Heaps of them. Yeah, we love doing them. My favorite is mantras. So I have a bunch of personal mantras that I do every day. Because the more you say things and picture things, visualization is another one. So the more you visualize something and tell yourself something, then the more you're going to manifest that and the more likely it is to happen. So I do that every day. I do a lot of breathing. If
Can,
a challenge comes up and it seems like you get a little bit overwhelmed, then, if you just take a few slow, deep breaths, it's a massive tool that it's overrated. Just taking a few,
yeah.
it can fix so many things. It's so helpful. So definitely the breath work, particularly traveling when challenges come up, breathing, the mantras I mentioned, movement, definitely movement. So being active and moving and exercising, stretching I do every day, and cold showers. Because you mentioned that you've been swimming in Tasmania, so I know how cold that is.
Uh-huh.
A recent one that we've done, so since probably June last year, haven't had a hot shower since then. So just cold
Wow.
in the
That's
shower.
cool.
It's great. I love
Yeah.
it now. I look forward to the cold shower. It's awesome. The
That's so
first week or so, it's like you try and do 30 seconds to start with, then you build that up to a minute, and then you try and get to 2 minutes. But now you don't want to get out. It's great. I can't wait. So now if you're in a warmer country, you turn on the cold, and it's like, oh no, it's not even really cold. So
Yeah.
when we were in New Zealand last month, it turned on the cold. It was cold, so that was nice. But it's so invigorating, the cold. Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Um, I Chris got me a sauna for Christmas, so I'll go
A
in
sauna.
a
Okay.
sauna. Yeah, so my little
Okay.
ritual would be go for a cold swim in the ocean, come back, have a warm sauna.
Lovely.
Hug.
That's popular in Scandinavia and countries like that. It's good for your health.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Mantras. I'd love, like,
Mantras, yes.
if you're happy to share, what are the mantras that
I'll
help
come on
you
my
to?
favorite. Yeah, I am unstoppable.
Yeah,
I use that. I trust in the power of the universe. I challenge myself. I grow and gain knowledge. I
love it.
appreciate every moment. Good things happen to me. Some of
That's
my
beautiful.
favorites.
They're
Yep.
beautiful. That's
Yep. I
awesome.
live with perfect health, love, and abundance.
Mm,
Yeah.
health is the default.
Health, yeah, perfect health. I live with perfect health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way you say those two, I can tell that they're part of your psyche, like your way of being, because you didn't have to kind of like think about, oh, what do I say to myself? It's actually just like become who you are. If anyone
It
has,
does, yes.
yeah, if anyone's listened to your first episode, the unstoppable was a big one for you too. I don't know if you remember,
Definitely
but that
recorded.
was the flip of the deepest root cause belief. Hey,
Yes.
I can't remember what the deepest
Which
root
was
belief was, but
shame.
shame, yeah, coming from the
Yeah.
emotion shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and your lovely wife Sarah live just the most amazing life. You're in Sri Lanka at the moment. Even before you went away, though, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys moved from mainland, from like the city to Tassie. Is that right?
We lived outside of Sydney on a small farm, so a
Okay.
rural area, but we
Yeah.
did move from New South Wales to Tasmania, yes, to live off grid in the Tasmanian wilderness, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah. And now you're off traveling the world for the last 18 months.
Yes, yeah, well, after finishing your course, we made another life change
Mm.
and we just decided what we wanted to do, which was uh, just travel more. So we sold our place in Tasmania. So our home is the road at the moment.
Nomads.
That's awesome.
Nomads, yes, yeah, nomads.
Yeah.
I do have a question, Jase, about off-grid.
Yep.
What do you mean by that? So I've had a few conversations with some people who say they're off-grid but still on town water, and they're just not on electricity. Were you off town water, off electricity, or like what sort of setup were you when you're off-grid?
No conveniences. So we had no town water, so only rainwater, and no electricity, no sewer, no mail, no rubbish collection, anything like that. So it does vary for different people, like you said. So it can be just without power or just without water. But for us, it was without any of those kind of common conveniences that most people have.
Yeah, cool.
But we still have power. It was all solar power and batteries, and it's a different type of lifestyle that you definitely need to adapt to. It's not for everyone, but we loved it. And when we settle down again, we'll probably look for something similar.
Awesome. What?
Yeah, it's quite rewarding. It's nice just to live off grid.
Do you think that's harder or easier or not at all to live a healthy lifestyle? Like what kind of impacts on health do you think living off grid has?
I think it is beneficial to living a healthy lifestyle. It's definitely it's active because you need to be doing a bit more outside. You don't just go home and lounge on the couch and watch TV.
Yeah.
Especially in Tasmania, it was a little bit harder because of our short days in the winter and the cloud and things, so, and fires and natural heating and things like that. So you're always thinking about how you're going to get through the winter. Like a squirrel collecting all his nuts and things, he's preparing for the winter. So
yeah, I love it.
Similar mindset to a little squirrel.
Yeah,
I love it. Squirreling away. It's kind of like by the end of winter, your power's kind of running low, and by the end of summer, your water's running kind of low.
Yeah, there's lots of different things to manage, but it's nice. You do, and there's no noise. You're going to have any. Well, we were rural, so it's just all nature. So you do get to stand out on the deck, and you're just surrounded by nature. So it's quite healing, really.
Yeah, it's very grounding. Also,
Grounding, yeah.
I had never thought about it until you were talking about the winter time and being the squirrel, but it's very seasonal as well. So living off grid is going to be very different in the summer and your activities to like care for yourself, to survive, to stay alive and thrive, as opposed to in wintertime. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And in the summer, you're busy trying to grow things and tend to your garden and do bits and pieces and stockpiling for the winter, really. So I guess it's kind of goes back through the ages as well, just basic how they used to live. Hunter-gatherers.
Yeah,
I love it.
Slowness. Do you have a garden question?
Yeah, well, this
is Chris's new recent
do you
hobby.
know? Yeah, I'm just backtracking in my mind about the time that I really got into gardening. I reckon it was around the time that we did chat. So September the 19th, 2023. So we would have chatted on podcasts either August or something like that, 2023. So anyway, I think that's about the same sort of time that I started really getting into researching and learning about gardening. Anyway, man, when you come back to Tassie, you have to come over our house and just be like, oh, you should totally do that and you should do that. And I can see why that's not working because that doesn't work usually and that's a good idea, blah, blah, blah. I can do that. It's so fascinating. I love it. It's quite addictive. Like you can get a real dopamine rush when you see something growing and it's like this little baby seedling just pops up and it's exciting and I get pumped. I'm pumped. I never thought I would ever be into it. And yeah, I can't grow a lawn to save myself.
No, the lawn's doing good after whatever you did.
That was a limiting belief, wasn't it? That was pretty below the line.
It's not easy in Tasmania, and you're talking about growing stuff, but then when you can harvest that and serve it up on your plate as a meal, it's quite rewarding, and therapeutic as well. But I'm landscape horticulture by trade, so that helps. But I'll come around and give you a hand, Chris, if Billy provides the vegan treats. How's
Oh,
that?
Okay, happy
amazing.
to.
Amazing.
I'll make some
Deal.
dinner as well.
Okay, great.
So, have you, just in terms of the values, the thought patterns that go into the decisions that you make in terms of how you live your life, have you always been like this, where it's just like, you know what, I'm going to go live off grid and I go and do it. I'm going to go and travel for a year and I go and do it. Or was there a point in your life where you weren't living that way and it was suffocating you?
Well, since I met my wife probably 25 years ago, we were actually both living our dreams. We met in London when we were living over there. So since then, really, we've just had a dream and we've made a plan to bring that into fruition, really. It's just a desired outcome that we've wanted, and then we've just gone and done what we need to do that. I guess younger, you always have dreams, don't you? You want to be someone or do something or go somewhere. So I guess I've just been someone who gets that done.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not even a question of can it happen? It's just like, how am I going to make that
No,
happen? Go forth and
exactly.
do and be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how do you do it? And we're both like that. So the decision making comes down to us sitting together and just asking ourselves, is this something we want to do? And if the answer is no, then well, that's the decision done. And that's not something we want to do. But if it's like, yeah, that'd be cool, like move to Tasmania and live off grid in the forest, I'm keen, so put your hand up. So then off we go and we make a bit of a plan. This is how we get that done. Or since then, we want to travel the world for a few years, and how can we do that? And here we are. So, they call it a dream, but I mean, a dream is still something you're supposed to achieve. It's not something that you're just supposed to imagine and think of as a fairy tale. It's a dream is something that you want to do, really. So we just figure out a way to do it, make a plan.
Yeah. Was that modeled to you as a kid? Like where it's just like anything that you want, we make it happen?
No. It's just a belief I had, I guess, as a child. Maybe I was in situations and had a bit of a childhood where I didn't want to be. So maybe I wanted to be someone different as a child. So I did the process then to become someone different. I moved to Australia youngish as a teenager to probably kind of start a new life, really, and become someone who I wanted to be.
Yeah, that's so cool. Love it.
Which is easy to do for me. I mean, if you're not happy and you want to be someone else or do something different, I don't know, just get it done and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not easy for everyone, but I mean,
yeah, well, it comes back to the framing in which you experience yourself in the world as well. So, a lot of people, because I'm asking these questions selfishly, because I definitely oh my good, did not have that experience growing up or even into my adulthood where it's just like, oh, I could just move to the other side of the world and that's just a thing I could do. No, my brain would have been coming up with all these reasons why no, that's not practical, logical. How can you do that? You don't have enough money. No, you need to stay close to your family, blah, 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 blah. There would have been all this chatter.
There's always that chatter, but I think you just learn to, you can kind of just, like you said, frame it or turn it into an object like you taught us.
Yeah.
And then you can just throw that away. So there's always those things in the back of your mind, but you got to put the positive stuff at the front and focus on that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, did you have something that you wanted to Say?
Is this another gardening question, Chris?
It could be around limiting
You
beliefs.
could do a metaphor, a garden metaphor.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think I resonate so much with what you said, Jase, around dreams becoming real. And if you dream something, go ahead and try it, go and give it. But then Philly and I talk to so many people, and maybe, dear listener, if you're listening and you just think, I could never do that, like what you were just saying before, Phil. We've found so many people who have that real, I don't know.
Feels like truth and reality.
Yeah. They will use, things like can't or shouldn't. And they've got these real beliefs that hold them back from living the life of their dreams. It's I think your evidence that this is not a global truth. It doesn't have to be that way, right? Like you can live your life a different way. You can dream and live the life of your dreams, like it's so possible. It might be scary at first, but it's so possible. There's some steps like what you mentioned a couple of techniques, but the first thing, I think, got to dream. If you want your life to be different, you gotta want it. You gotta dream it. You gotta be aware of a desire for something different. Hey, and I think so many people just put the clamps down and just cut that off, not even think about it, don't they?
They do. It's too hard. But you can be and do and become whoever you want to be. That's up to you. You're in the driving seat. It's your mind. It's your body. It's your life. So you can literally do whatever you want.
I love it.
You're the master of your own destiny.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's not hard. I mean, you can make it seem hard and think about it and, oh no, can and can't, and oh no, that's too hard. But if you really want something, anything is achievable.
Yeah.
I love it.
And this dreaming...
Words of wisdom.
This dream, we actually call it the dream outcome, is part of the process of Spark inside Ending Body Burnout Method. And sometimes, like, I have noticed a pattern of some clients where they'll find the deepest root cause belief, the deepest fear they have about themselves, and that was hard. But they got there and they broke through, and then the next step is, okay, cool, well, what do you want and who do you want to be instead? And some people find that even harder because all of a sudden it's like, what? Like, it's like, it's unsafe. It's unsafe to dream or to ask for what I want. I even think about like little stories or little things that we were told as kids when we blew out the candles on a birthday cake. And
make a wish.
Yeah, make a wish, but don't tell anyone or it won't come true.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, what? Okay, I'll just wish this in secret, and like maybe magically it's going to come to fruition, but it probably won't because like that's not how manifestation works. So yeah, like if anyone's listening and they're like, oh, I wish I could dream and I wish I could just take that step. Well, the number one reason why you're not allowing yourself to dream is because it's not safe. And why isn't it safe? Well, it's usually something around like, I'm not capable of creating it. I'm not worthy or deserving of it. Or like, what if I tried to do it, but I fail? And also sometimes people get scared around how it would change their relationship with other people too. And they're like, oh, well, like if that changes and what if I lose my relationships? Then that's not going to be fun.
No, there's always, failure. Yeah, failure. That's always something there. Just trying to think of, but now there's something that Yoda said. I'm trying to think of his saying about failure.
Something about try.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, the greatest lesson failure is.
The greatest lesson failure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Chris. Yeah. So you do it and you fail, and then that's a lesson. So you try again, and then you won't fail.
Yeah.
You learn a lot from failing. Without doing something, you don't learn. But life's about learning. So you learn from your mistakes or failures and have another go.
Yeah. That was one of my big mantras when I was unraveling a deep belief around being weak and incapable, because it also showed up as perfectionism and like, well, I have to do everything right because if I fail, then I'm bad and I'm weak and incapable. So my mantra was, there is no failure, only feedback.
There is no failure. No.
It's just like, it was so liberating when I
Mm.
surrendered myself into embodying that. Okay, so where have you been traveling? You're in Sri Lanka now. You
Oh,
were,
we're in Sri Lanka, yes.
yeah.
Okay, so from 2023, when we left Tasmania, we did the Dakar Challenge, which was we went to London and we bought a car and we drove down through West Africa to a country called the Gambia. That took a couple of months, and then once we got to the Gambia, we auctioned off the car for charity, which raised a lot of funds for local women's groups and schools and disabilities and whatnot. And then from there, we kind of continued overland down through West Africa, making our way down to the bottom of Africa, South Africa. That took most of last year, and we kind of made our way back to Australia through various destinations, and we came back Christmas and catch up with some people,
Mm.
and now we're off again.
Have
So that's what we've been
you?
doing, really. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
traveling.
cool. You didn't get to Kenya, did you? I was in Kenya, went to Kenya for
Well,
the.
actually, we're on our way to Kenya now, so we have a few months in Sri Lanka, and then we'll head across to East Africa and spend a few months and do all that area there.
Awesome. Do
Yeah.
you know where you're going in Kenya?
We're going to Meru and we're going to Masai Mara. We are going to pop down to Arusha and the Ngorongoro Crater, the Serengeti, across to Uganda, Rwanda, Madagascar, South
Nice.
Africa, back to Australia. Probably at the end
Nice.
of the year again,
That's so
Christmas.
cool. I stayed
Yeah,
in a
we live our
little
dreams.
living your dreams. I stayed in a little like tiny rural village. It was called Aquala.
Kuala.
And
Okay.
it was close, like in Kenya, but close to the Ugandan border.
Okay.
So, you know, if you head that way, say hello to my people.
Okay. I'll look for pictures of you.
Okay, have you like, and I know that you'd been traveling before, what are some lessons? Because I know personally when I travel, especially overseas, because it's very different and it can be confronting and exciting and all the things. Like, are there any lessons that you've learned about yourself while traveling?
Um, yeah, there's plenty. Well, I kind of stand out, particularly in Africa. There's the big ish white man with the red beard.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of looks, or everyone really looks at you and they'll stare. So my lesson I've learned was from doing the body burnout was the shame aspect of it. I flipped it instead of being shamed or embarrassed with everyone looking at me.
Mm.
I felt proud and I wave and I say hello and it brings people, oh, he's friendly. They come over and you start talking to them and you've
Mm.
had so many special moments with people while we're traveling just by being friendly. And
Mm.
instead of making it an awkward situation with, everyone looking at you and little kids like, so I just wait, hello, and just like flip it. So just make it a positive experience. So it works so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not just feeling proud and I'm proud to be me.
Yeah.
Love it.
Which is
I'm excited to be me.
yeah, which is co-regulation too. So you can't really I mean, you could fake it, but if you were faking it, people will feel it.
Oh,
And
they
so when
will.
it's genuine and it's like, you know what? I do love me. And like
Yeah.
everyone loves me. Or if they don't, it's okay.
Oh, well, and 99% of the people in this world that you meet, they're friendly.
Yeah.
And they just want to talk to you and ask you, what you think of their country or
Mm.
why you were there or
Mm.
that they're just interested in you like we are of them. So there's not any scary situations. It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can, before it'd be a shame. Everyone's looking at you. You'd be embarrassed and you'd be like, oh, you want to hide away. But by learning how to turn that round the other way and make it a positive experience, it just changes a lot of things.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I often have sessions with clients and they're about to go traveling, even if it's for like a week or two, but they're like, it's going to be so hard to keep up with my healthy rituals or my healing routines. Words of wisdom, please, for someone who is a nomad. Which either you kind of got two choices. You either just like drop it all and you travel, or you somehow find a way to integrate caring for yourself, staying healthy while traveling. Like, what are your tips?
Well, for us, we kind of travel slowly, so we don't rush, and we have an apartment or our own space. So we use a booking platform where you can get your own place. Really, you still go through a local person, and you get a flat. So you've got a kitchen and bits and pieces like that. So you can prepare a lot of your own meals. So that's an important thing. You're not eating out 3 meals a day, but you can be a lot more healthy and go to the local market. The world is full. Wherever you travel, there's beautiful fruit and vegetables and homegrown produce. So by having your own space where you can prepare these, you can go to the market, you can learn a lot about a country by visiting the market, meet a lot of people, buy your own goods, and you can come home and you can prepare them. So we eat breakfast at home, and then we might go out and find a nice, healthy eating place for lunch, and then we'll come home and prepare our dinner. So that's one way that we stay healthy on the road, is just fresh fruit and vegetables. It's easy. They're everywhere. I mean, and they're delicious. And majority of the time, they're all homegrown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of the local restaurants, everything's just made with love. It's not just manufactured things in packets and things. It's all handmade with love. So it's not hard at all. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
We went to Fiji last year. Last year for 2 weeks. But most of the places we stayed at were hotels. We didn't have our own kitchen.
Yeah.
And then the last place we stayed was a Airbnb, and it was nice. And we did go to the local markets. And we bought all these things that I'm like, I have no idea how to cook you, but I'm going to take you home and try it. No one ate it. I know you ate it. The girls are like, what did we buy? Cassava or something?
Cassava's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is.
Yeah.
I did.
We made chips.
The gas was very slow, so it took a really long time to cook. And some things were a little bit hard. And I think it was more my kids. Like, I thought it was nice.
I'll give it a crack.
Our children were like, oh, this doesn't taste like what it does at home.
Well, you're outside your comfort zone and you challenge yourself. But over time, these things get a lot easier. You went away for a week or so, but traveling full time, it just becomes routine and just what you do. And you might find something new and different. And then you just ask someone at the market or on this, that you met there, how is best to prepare it.
That is what I didn't ask.
Okay.
That was probably a really nice way of meeting people and having real conversations in the village. Yeah, in the markets.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've met many people at the markets who want to take you to their house and offer you a cup of tea, or they'll give you things, or taste this, or have this, or they're so happy to see you. And if you're somewhere for a couple of weeks and you keep going back, you kind of get a relationship with them as well. So lots of special moments from meeting mainly women at the markets, really, that you find that the blokes are all busy doing things, playing chess and things, important work. That's how it is.
So good.
But you do meet a lot of nice ladies at the market. Yeah. We love going to the market.
Yeah. Okay. This has been fun. So so glad that we got to catch up, and also that our power didn't go out.
Yeah.
Could you hear the thunderstorm
I
on your
heard
own?
it at the beginning, but I haven't heard it since then.
Yeah, I think it's fading away. There was one, it sounded like it hit a tree like close by. I'm going to go
It
for
was
a
very
walk
loud.
after and go check it out. We'll post some
Okay.
pictures if it hit something.
Right.
So to wrap up, do you have any last words of wisdom? So from someone who went from having an autoimmune condition, high levels of inflammation, healed, and now thriving over the last 18 months, any words of wisdom in terms of, I call it the macro lens of healing. So sometimes like it's probably more when people are coming out of survival mode and they're still symptomatic, but it's almost like, yay, today is great, or this week is great, but then the next week it's like, I've crashed again, or I'm flary again. Or you've healed, but you're a human being living in the world and you're growing and expanding, and something comes up. Like there's always going to be challenges. Words of wisdom for people who might be navigating that.
Well, I'm going to go back to the gardening scenario so Chris understands. So if you, okay, so this picture an apple tree. You see the stump comes out of the ground, and you see the big picture of well, you see the small picture really is the tree with the delicious apples on it. But the bigger picture is everything below the surface that you don't see, all the roots and the things under the ground. So it's important what's going on under there is going to affect all these tasty apples in the tree at the top. So it's kind of like your health. People see the tree, which is your body and the apples, but everything inside that you can't see, like all the roots, that's going to affect everything, the bigger picture that you can see. So by looking after all those roots and you're getting to cause of the problems and things, getting them all healthy, then you're going to get the nice tasty apple on the outside.
I love that. We do have some apples. I'm going to go pick one now.
Yeah, but and then if a little bug comes along and attacks your apple tree, if that has a good root system, it's like a challenge with your life.
Yeah,
you
true.
can fight that bug off. The tree's nice and healthy, so it might get a fly on it for a few days, but it's the healthy tree. It can recover from that. It's hardly a challenge at all. But if you got that bad root system, the fly comes along, and then all the big population of flies start attacking the tree. The leaves will fall off. But with all that nice healthy root system below the surface that you can't see, that's all good. Then you're going to get that nice big apple at the end of the big picture. So, well, the small picture is the apple. The big picture is the root system underground.
Yeah. It's such
That's
a good metaphor.
like your health, really. It's all the things that are inside. There's so many things to learn about, which was what we liked about the body burnout course. This root causes and lots of emotional things. It's not just, it affects, there's many different things that kind of go to make you who you are. It's not just what you eat, bits and pieces like that. There's a lot of things to discover.
Yeah.
So much to learn.
Yeah.
And I like going to work and you're a carpenter, only taking a hammer to work. But then when you've done the course and you learn a lot more stuff, you've got a whole toolbox full of different bits and pieces to take with you. The job will be a lot easier.
Love it.
Faster, more effective.
Faster,
better
more efficient.
building.
Yeah, that's it. Your house isn't going to blow over when there's a storm or a thunderstorm.
Or a
Or a
thunderstorm.
thunderstorm.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that. It kind of made me reflect on just like a practical symptom example that might also help listeners. Even back as a teenager, I had a lot of hormonal issues, PCOS and infertility later on and all sorts of stuff. And even when I'd done the physical kind of like functional medicine healing, my hormones got better, but it was like if there was a little fly that came and landed on me, bang, it'd almost feel like my hormones were back at square one. It's like, oh my gosh, like where's my period gone and my skin's flaring up and I'm like emotional, as opposed to now it's like month by month, get a lovely period, hormones are fine, everything's happy. Even when we might go through something like a busier period like we did back in January when we had a launch for our business and we had extra things that we were juggling. But it's like, no body is resilient when the roots are resilient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can fight things off. Your healthy root system, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But all those roots are all diseased and not going well. All the leaves are going to fall off, and you're going to be looking at a tree that it's going to be needing a lot of work. But
Yeah.
get the root system all nice, and those apples are so tasty.
So good. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jase.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's great to see you guys.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast again. For those of you, I'll see if this works. This is on Spotify.
Here we go. Number 28.
Episode 28 was when we had Jase on last time. So thanks so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I'm excited for your travels and get to chat more about what happens to you over there when you come over.
Whenever you're ready, give me a shout.
Sounds like a plan. Alrighty. Thanks, mate. And we'll
No trouble.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.